In the second half of our program, Chandra, our executive director, has stayed with us for this half, and this is a call-in show. So if you have a question for Chandra, the number is 703-663-3333. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I have to ask the question about the elephant in the room. What's with the with the cast? Not a cast, a sling.
It's a sling for my rotator cuff. So my sister's wedding, I went out the prior week for my sister's wedding. Indian weddings are 3 days long.
Oh yes.
Lots of festivities, 350 people, which is a small wedding for us.
Yeah.
For the wedding part, and then the next day was the reception. And my sister, who's an anesthesiologist, wanted to have something different. You know, she finished her fellowship. She wanted to make sure, she just wanted to have her friends and her colleagues from all of her travels at the different medical colleges and all that she's been, and just friends. And so I was the eldest one there.
The matriarch.
Yes. So parents and all weren't there. It was a much younger crowd at a different style of venue. And of course, at the end of the night, about 3 o'clock in the morning is when this finishes. You know, I'm trying to get everybody into their Ubers and get them going. And she had gotten little flip-flops for all of us to wear. So on the dance floor, you get tired of wearing heels. Men don't always understand that, but us women would love to get out of those heels.
That's right. Any excuse.
Any excuse. And so I'm walking to get some, you know, to my car, and someone accidentally stepped on the back of that flip-flop. And so if you've ever had somebody step on a shoe, you go forward.
Oh, no.
So in the middle of the DC street, in my gown, flat, landed on this side. Thank goodness they didn't break anything. So I'm on the floor, you know, in healthcare, you know, I've been in health services for so long. Check my range of motion. I'm like, nobody move me. I'm going to make sure nothing's broken.
Yeah, very good.
You know, I do my range of motion. I'm like, okay, now pick me up. So they all pick me up. One of the doctors comes running out with his little phone with the light in it.
Oh, there we go.
He's like, let me check, make sure you didn't hit your head. I said, no, I didn't hit my head. He flashes the light in my eyes.
Thank goodness you had all those doctors
I know.
there.
He was checking my pupils to make sure that I hadn't hit my head and that I wasn't lying or that I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
And he says, were you drinking? And I was like, no, I was the only one that was not drinking because I was in charge of making sure everybody got home and everything went well. And so that's how I ended up.
So you're wounded.
I wounded, yes. So a broken toe and the shoulder, and the ribs is the hardest part because whenever somebody makes me laugh, they hurt a little bit.
We'll try to be very somber. Yes.
Because I like to laugh, so it's that's been like ouch, ouch. But otherwise, but it was a great event.
Well, that's good. Congratulations to your sister.
Thank you.
So what's happening with you on this rainy, rainy day?
Oh
what's
man, there's so many different things going on with the campus. So. You know, we just had our board, you know, business meeting, what would you call our business plan meeting for 2020 with our, you know, where we talk about, the board talks about its strategic initiatives.
That was an excellent meeting.
Thank you. And it's interesting because we always run late because I think we try to share a lot of information, but I think it was great questions from the residents.
I think the best explanation at that entire meeting, and I don't know if you remember, I think maybe Cody did it, was explaining what the word repositioning means, which I've always said makes no sense to me. But then he said, it's when you're actually changing spaces and reconfiguring spaces, like our mailroom is being moved someplace else. Things are moved. So we're repositioning rather than refreshing, which was what we did here.
So for Village Square, that's why we called it a refresh. And it also entails a substantial amount of more work and capital dollars to do that. So, you know, I think what happens with all of this is, you know, it's hard for people to understand why do we do this. You know, there's multiple facets. One is for the enjoyment of our current residents. We also talk about future residents, and then I'll have residents say, well, I don't really care about what the future resident.
We can be really selfish, can't we?
Well, no, but I understand that. Well, why do I worry about everybody else? But what I always say is your investment. You have made a substantial deposit, and in order for us to continue to fill our empty apartments and turn that deposit over so you can get your money back, you know, whether you move out or you pass away and your family gets it, or whoever is going to be getting those funds, we want to make sure that we're marketable.
That's right.
Because I have worked in communities where Apartments didn't sell for a whole 365 days.
Wow.
I think we had one in one of our communities almost 2 years it didn't sell.
It's kind of like, you're sitting in your living room and the family's hanging out, and all of a sudden you see somebody pull in the driveway that you didn't expect, and you've got company, and you've got to clean up everything in a hurry. We're trying to keep it nice and new and looking good all the time.
So that's why, we want to make sure that this is all done. And I have to tell you, I've gotten predominantly really good feedback on the areas that we've done. There's always going to be something that I don't agree with or residents don't agree with, and we know, I was concerned when we started to put all the pictures in the hallway, even here in Village Square, and I thought, what are the residents going to say?
They're wonderful.
And that's what I got, and I thought, okay, as long as my residents are happy, I'm good.
And we'll never please everybody.
No, it is hard.
We all have different tastes.
I say that 2,000 residents, 2,000 points of view.
That's right. Very true.
Absolutely. So,
what else would you like to share with us?
Well, we've got a couple things going on. I know that we've got all of the dining services doing all the dessert sales that are coming up.
I think that starts the 19th.
Yes, it's actually the 9th through the 19th of December. And then the food drive, which was really great with the Eco Food Drive, we raised
and backing up to the bakery goods that can be purchased. If those of you who haven't heard about it, you go to one of the stores and there are 6 or 7 choices of things. And the idea is that I'm going to somebody's house for the holidays, or maybe having someone come into mine, and I can pass off whatever this is I bought as mine. So and they're wonderful. They're very, very good. So order them.
And then the garage is coming along well.
This morning we can tell a big difference.
Right, you can see the structure.
They put some gravel down, like they're thinking about putting pavement on top of it.
Yes, so that's coming along. I mean, that's been pretty much on plan. We've had a few glitches here and there, but it's been coming along pretty well. I think you can see the new windows have gone into the cafe.
Right.
And then Town Center, they're already starting to change some of those first floor windows out.
Good.
This will give us more, our efficiency when it comes to our sustainability initiatives, appearance-wise, draftiness, all of those pieces. It's a really nice double pane product.
Yeah, they look beautiful.
They're really good products. So, I'm hoping everybody's enjoying the bathroom.
Yes.
Upstairs finally.
That
it took
was
too long.
Finally, that tape was gone.
So I've told them that we don't touch this downstairs bathroom until we make sure we have all of our products that are there, because I don't want to go through that process all over again. And then we were talking earlier. We'll be moving over tomorrow. So today they're going to pack. And then we'll officially move over.
So your office will be, there are 2 sets of offices there, one closer to the lobby and one farther away from the lobby. Right. In which one will you be?
So originally we were going to be in the one that was closer to the lobby, and then we found out that the space was not conducive to people, the amount of visitors we get. So we will be going to the second part, which is larger.
You're more in the area where Kimberly and Philanthropy were, with a little more added to it. Good.
So there's enough space for people to come in, because we get a lot of visitors.
Sure.
And then we'll temporarily, the reoccupancy team will be in the offices that we were going to be that are closer to the lobby till their area gets done.
Okay.
So we're, it'll be used as a flex space till we
moving people around till they can do their own spaces.
And so. And then I know the mailboxes are coming along. I'm excited about being able to open those mailboxes up.
Oh, today is the day.
Yeah.
Today is the day that when I go to, for those people who get their mail in Town Center, when I go to my mailbox today, there will be a key in it, and that's my key for my new mailbox.
Yes.
And we need to take it out, take all the mail out, and the next day our mail will be in the new mail room.
Exactly. And I've been getting questions about why do they have this, like it's like a pull across kind of a barrier.
Right.
That's not permanent. That's just when they fill the mailboxes, they put that there for safety purposes.
And that's the safety of the mailman. That's the safety of the residents.
Right. Because they have boxes everywhere, and we don't want someone to trip and fall. And then they just open it and put it back. So it's not going to be permanent. No one's going to need to crawl underneath it to get to it.
But it's there for everyone's safety. And I think the mailman will be able to work more quickly.
Yes,
because
he's not disturbed.
He won't be having people around him either talking or moving around with rollators and EMVs. So
exactly.
It's a good thing to add there. I was happy to see it.
Yes, so that's there. And then, the rest of the construction, as everybody can see, is still going on.
And they're out there in the rain today.
Yes.
Moving dirt.
Moving dirt.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I get that question, like, I feel like they move the dirt one side, then they put it back, then they move it again, and then they put it back. There's a lot of pipes and things that are being laid, and so that's the process.
There's a lot in there, and sometimes the dirt they take out of one space isn't necessarily the mixture they want to put back in. And I've seen them out there with using their big diggers, but mixing the dirt that way so that they have the right consistency. So we have a good foundation under our new section.
Exactly. And then the other question that I get is the front of Town Center to the left. If you come out of Town Center on the left, that area in the parking lot.
Yes.
And that'll go back to being the way it was.
And it's really pretty, this morning it's pretty much flattened out.
Right, so that'll go back, they'll reseed it. There is going to be a location where they'll come to be able to do the removal of the grease trap.
And that's what all that is about.
That's all that,
it's Ty and I talked about that last week. It's installing a grease trap there for the new restaurant.
Right, and they just pull up the truck, stick a hose to it, pull it out.
Kind of like cleaning out a septic tank.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, but less stinky.
Yes, almost anything would be. Right.
So then, they cap it. But people are wondering, are they going to put a structure there? No, they're not going to put a structure there. I think sometimes there's angst about any kind of change.
Yeah.
So and then the low pressure washing. The question was, actually even brought up at the board meeting of, why are we doing the pressure washing? So these are those high areas where we don't want our staff to be on a boom lift 5 stories high, but it's trying to get the black stuff out.
It's a lichen of some kind.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. So it's not just dirt.
No, we wouldn't just wash our buildings. I mean,
Yeah.
that to me would be ridiculous. But it's to get that out, and so they're there. We just have them clean the whole thing while they're there.
Sure.
But that's the main purpose of it. It's not that we need to power wash.
It's for appearance, and it's getting that, something growing there that shouldn't be growing
right,
there.
and what happens is it starts to break the brick up if you leave it there.
Oh, that's what we need to know.
Right.
What happens if we don't?
So we've been trying to figure out for a couple of years what's the best process. So we went through, is it a chemical treatment? Is it pressure washing? Is it high pressure? High pressure washing destroys it. So they found this method.
I wondered why they said low pressure.
Low pressure washing.
Low pressure washing, so it doesn't destroy the brick, but it takes off the lichen.
Exactly.
Good.
So the lower areas we will do ourselves, our grounds team.
And eventually you'll do the insides of the building, like there's some above our apartment on the inside of the courtyard. Eventually, sometime down the road, they'll do all of it.
We purchased a water trolley kind of thing that gets attached to the truck.
Okay.
That'll have our own power washer attached to that hose because you need a good volume of water. And then our team can do that. So that one we purchased because we can dually use it for watering our flower beds as we go through this construction.
That's good.
And to be able to do pressure washing.
Right.
So we just, that should be coming anytime soon if it's not already here.
Good.
When I was out.
That's pretty exciting, a new piece of equipment.
Yes, and it's just weather permitting.
Sure.
With this time of the year, it's kind of an odd time.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are just some of the things going on, that we've had. I think I had a couple of comments on, are you allowed to bring a pet into the dining room?
Yes, can you address that?
Yeah, so I will actually be addressing it specifically with the resident whose pet it is.
Okay.
The ADA does allow for what we call service dogs that have specific training, but the other ones are really up to the discretion of the community,
the facilities
that, whether it's a restaurant or whether it's, a CCRC. So I'll be addressing that specifically with that person. So just to let everybody know that,
it's not being ignored.
No, it's not being ignored.
Yes, right.
It is. And we just want to make sure that we're following the right process.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, that's
one other nice thing I'd like to bring up, and that is the fact that our security department and our dining services department work together to provide Thanksgiving dinner for all 3 shifts, I guess, at the fire department and the police department.
They do an amazing job every year. I mean, I think whenever I go to any event where, the fire marshal is there or the police department, their commanders are always so graciously happy. Like, they're just very, very thankful about Green Springs partnership.
Good.
And, the fact that we really want to treat them well, because they're all working on that day.
Yes, right. And we appreciate that.
And we do a really good spread.
And we have there are a lot of things like that go on behind the scenes that often we residents don't know about.
Yeah.
So it's always good to be able to toot a horn for
Absolutely.
that.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me about that too.
We're out of time. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think we've got, yes, so Monday we've got coffee with the exec.
Right.
On
1
the
o'clock.
1 o'clock.
In the Hunters Crossing Conference Center.
Conference room. Yep.
Good.
So we'll be doing that.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Always lots of good information
Always
there.
good information.